Well, hey, welcome in, everybody. Looks like we've got a few people here in chat. We've got, hey, Jonathan, April, and we've got, of course, our lovely guests. Yes, Gillian, I was talking about your mom. Okay, now you guys just got back from a little bit of a trip to my neck of the woods over at the Magic Kingdom at Disneyland. And you had some fun and some issues. As I was mentioning in the description, you had the good, the bad, and the ugly,
Oh, yeah.
So,
And
what happened?
Like that. Well, we got to have lunch with you. That was part of the fun.
Oh, yeah. That was the ugly part.
Trying to think. What was it? I don't know. I thought the food was pretty good there.
Yeah, it was
the
good.
Character interactions was fun.
Funny. Yeah, I always love the character interactions.
Especially when Mickey and Minnie were interacting with cast members or where people were coming in and out. Like when Minnie made that one cast member down to her. That was funny. Okay, so what I saw happen was he was talking to somebody else and he had his back to Minnie the entire time she was standing there, and she kind of crossed her arms and was staring at him like, "Excuse me." And she tapped him on the shoulder and he turned around and he's like,
Yeah, Minnie is kind of sassy.
My favorite part was when Brian asked Mickey when he was going to put a ring on Minnie, and Mickey's like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm good."
And I was like,
and then Minnie was like, "Yeah, when is he going to?"
And she was tapping her hand on where her ring finger would be like,
well, come on, they've been dating for decades. He needs to put a ring on that finger, right?
I thought it was the last 5 years or something that Disney released that they were now dating or something like that. They were friends before, but now they're officially dating. Was, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Try to keep it PG for the kids, I suppose. And then, of course, I asked Dale if he'd run away with me.
And then sat in Dad's chair. And Dad's just like, whatever.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, just want to mention in chat, please, no political discussions in here. This is not the forum for politics, okay? But again,
poo for president. I'm all for that.
Poo for president.
You don't remember that in the 70s when they did all the poo for president stuff?
Honestly, I think he'd be.
I was a little kid, but I remember seeing stuff.
I think Tigger would probably get more votes.
Our last two.
I don't know. Eeyore's gaining in popularity nowadays.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Eeyore's
if you think about it, but Gillian, with Winnie the Pooh doing that slasher movie. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I don't think he's going to be as popular as Tigger.
Mom has decided that movie is not going to come into the house. None of us are watching.
Luckily,
and Gillian, you got a little message from Miss Rachel.
Yeah, I saw. Miss you too, Rachel. We've just been really busy.
We haven't been going live because Java's work schedule changed, and we haven't figured out when we're.
Yeah, that's why I figured. That's kind of why I figured I would change my normal on time to a couple hours later and just invite you guys on to go over some of the stuff that you did. Hey, no problem. No problem. That means you have 5:30. But for friends, I'll push my time back. I don't mind.
But yeah,
okay, now
that was so fun.
So what was the first park you guys hit?
Disneyland.
Disneyland?
Well, the first and the last, but this trip was weird.
Well, we had the party in like the middle of the trip, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we front end loaded Disneyland, did our first 2 days at Disneyland, and then our next 2 days at DCA.
Okay. That makes sense. Now,
But we normally bookend Disneyland and DCA in the middle.
back when I was a cast member, way back in the early days of DCA, the joke about DCA was, don't come again.
Yeah.
Because, well, you do it once and you can pretty much see everything. Now, with all the changes they've made and all the changes they're going to make,
It's definitely coming more into itself, I think.
mm-hmm. What do you think of San Fran Tokyo?
I'm so excited
about
Baymax.
But Baymax is just a big marshmallow.
But he's a personal healthcare companion marshmallow.
But he's a big, giant, fluffy marshmallow. Come on, who in the chat agrees with me that Baymax is a big, fluffy marshmallow?
I mean,
I don't disagree, but he's adorable.
So, give the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man a hug. Oh, wait, no, he just stomped on you. Never mind. Couldn't resist. Ghostbusters humor. Have you seen the movie?
oh yeah.
Okay.
Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the new ones. I want one of the mini ones. I want one of the little mini Stay Puft marshmallows.
Okay, now.
That's like,
So,
I knew, but I want one. They're so
We were
cute.
watching it while I was at work, and I came out and when I was done and the movie was over, and Mom was like, I want one of them. And I'm like, what did I miss?
okay, so I have to ask.
and making scores out of themselves.
I have
Throwing the
to,
chocolate up with a blanket.
That's what he said, and I was like, what? He's like,
Okay,
on the next day after watching the movie, I don't care.
you guys had a little bit of an issue with the hotel room. What happened?
Oh yeah. So when we checked in, I don't always, but most of the time.
This is the second time. Most of the
time I rent an accessible hotel room because of my mobility problem. And I normally get a roll-in wheelchair one because then it's flat and I can walk straight in and it'll have a shower chair and it'll have the bars and all that good stuff. So we get to our room and I was like, something's wrong. I walk in the bathroom. I'm like, there's no bars. It's a bathtub. David's like, the beds are really high. And I'm like, this is not an accessible room.
So, in other words, they gave you a standard room instead of an accessible room.
Yeah. And I went back downstairs and I was like, the room we got is not accessible. And they're like, ooh, yeah, we're out of accessible rooms. So I was like, I figured that. So I was like, so am I just making do with this tonight? What are we doing? And so they put us up for that night in an accessible one-bedroom villa in the
Disney Vacation
Club villas.
Ooh.
Because they had the accessible one-bedroom villa open.
And that was the lowest.
And I had gotten the standard room, so like the very cheapest room. We were in the Grand Californian. I'd gotten the very cheapest room. So this one's like 4 or 5 room upgrade, essentially.
Oh.
But it was the closest thing they had that was open.
Yeah, that was accessible. And so they put us up there for that night. And then the next day we got an accessible room at the level where I had booked the room. So we had to change rooms the next day. Which wasn't
geez.
But,
did you at least get help changing rooms?
yeah, they sent we had bell
services.
services to come help us, switch rooms.
Okay, so they sent an army of bellboys too.
We had to pack all of our stuff up. And
well, Leland was great.
Yes. The cast member we got from bell service to help us move was great. And I went ahead just to double check and make sure it was accessible before we moved everything. And he's like,
Good.
I'm glad you did, because if they had made a mistake, he's like, and I would have moved all this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, the thing about Disney, the thing I love about Disney is Disney. I mean, the people that work there, they're only human, and they make mistakes. But when they make a mistake, they really do work to fix those goofs. I mean, after all,
they're so sweet about stuff.
Yeah, and after all, they have Goofy in there all the time, so obviously there's going to be some goofs.
Well, and just like any hotel, there's a set number of any type of accessibility rooms. So you only have so many of any type of room. So if they're all rented out, they're all rented out.
Yeah. And I could have made the regular one work for the night to be switched the next day, like that. I could have made that work. I've done it before, but normally, like, I didn't bring my shower chair with me like I would have normally done if I hadn't been able to get an accessible room. Like, I didn't bring that stuff with me because I had made sure I booked an accessible room, so I wouldn't need to bring that stuff with me. So it would have been a little more difficult, but they were very sweet about it. Put us up in the 1-bedroom villa for the night. And those rooms run, starting about $2,000 a night.
Mm-hmm.
So, and our room was about 5 to 6, depending upon the time of year starting. So it was quite an upgrade for that night.
I will say the funniest part was when I walked in, Mom was like, go take a look around. So I did. I come back. She's like, this will do for the night. Right? Like,
it had, oh my gosh. So it had a whirlpool tub in it, like the jets and stuff. I was like, all right, I'm getting in this.
And after about 20 minutes, she's like,
I don't know how I'm getting out.
After about 20 minutes, like, I'm moving.
Yes, like, can I just stay here? Like, can we just figure out a way for me to live right here?
And
so, in other words, you're so relaxed.
And she's like, $2,000. I'm like, okay, that's $60,000 a month. We can't afford that. I'm like, I know.
So, Gillian, where did you sleep in the whirlpool?
No, I slept on the Murphy bed. That was out of the TV stand.
Had a
Murphy bed. Oh my
couch.
gosh!
And then the king size bed. David and I haven't had a king size bed in a long time. King size bed.
Nice.
And it had a full kitchenette, like a big refrigerator. It had a dishwasher, stove, a microwave.
So yeah, it was basically your DVC resort room.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks to that washer and dryer, I was able to help the residents.
So you
called my wife dryer today.
So basically, you guys got your taste of luxury, and then they said, "Okay, now we're putting in this one."
Yeah. I mean,
it still wasn't a bad room. It wasn't a bad room.
Yeah.
The Grand Californian is the highest level at Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
So in the rooms, we've stayed now at all 3 hotels there, and we've stayed at a deluxe at Walt Disney World, and the only one we haven't stayed at yet. Oh no, we've stayed at moderate because the cabins are considered moderate. So we've stayed at all 3 levels at Walt Disney World now too. So
technically, all 3 hotels in Disneyland we have not stayed at.
Well, they're retheming it, but we stayed there. I've been. Because they're retheming Paradise Pier to Pixar place. We have stayed there, but it was Paradise Pier at the time, and now that they're finally theming it to fit Pixar, like we knew this was coming, right? When they rethemed Pixar Pier in DCA or
and
Paradise Pier.
and they're turning Pixar Pier into San Angelo. And now they're turning Pixar Pier into San Fran, Tokyo.
Well, they're just doing Pacific Wharf.
Yeah, Pacific Wharf.
Oh, Pacific Wharf. Okay. But that means
just doing Pacific Wharf. So.
But that'll mean they're going to get rid of one of my favorite walkthrough attractions.
The bakery tour, maybe.
So from what the concept art, from what it looked like, they're really not changing really anything.
Well, they're not changing the exteriors a whole lot, but who knows what they're going to do to the.
This is accurate.
Yeah, but by the way, pro tip: you can get the kids' macaroni and cheese in a bread bowl over at Pacific Wharf Cafe.
And further, you can ask them to put that in a cup and they'll slice up your bread bowl and you can take the bread sliced up with you so you don't waste the bread bowl if you don't tend to eat the full bread bowls.
Exactly. I mean, that's because I'm not kidding. Sometimes the kids' menu stuff there is better than what's on the menu.
The food we had this trip was not as good as it has been in the past. I don't know what's going on.
Oh no! Well, okay. First off, let's go over the restaurant that we all ended up going to together. Storytellers.
Yeah, that was
honest opinions of
it. Well, what I had was like basic stuff that's hard to screw up. I don't know what you guys all had.
Yeah, you can't mess up tape, right?
Waffles and the bacon wasn't cooked enough for me, so I didn't eat that.
But a lot of buffets, they have it cooked the way it was cooked.
Yeah.
So,
I got that.
But my complaint was I saw several people with eggs Benedict, but I never saw it on the buffet, so I don't know where they got it from.
I think
eggs Benedict.
I think that what you have to do, because I know when you go at night, there's certain items that you have to ask your server for. At least the last time I went for dinner. I'm going there for dinner tomorrow night with my best friend because she has a 50% off coupon that I'm going to use.
Oh.
So I'm paying for 2 people for the price of 1. That's a pretty darn good deal.
Yeah, it is.
But the last time I was there, when I went with my best friend, and when I went with Jennifer, we had to ask the server for the corn chowder, which I don't know if you guys managed to get the corn chowder.
No.
But everybody goes 8 duty over the corn chowder because it's delicious.
Yeah.
So Storytellers was just more like a meh, but the character interactions were amazing, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. All the character interactions we had this trip were like super great.
Yeah, I saw your stream at Oogie Boogie, and you guys looked like you were having a blast over there.
Oh yeah, Oogie Boogie Bash was so much fun.
Somebody lost their mind to not naming names or pointing fingers or not.
I told you that was going to happen.
Wait a minute. What happened, Gillian? What did you do?
So Mom has been whining about not being able to meet Pooh and like hug him since character interactions came back because we haven't been able to find him. So on Saturday,
I tried Friday first.
Yeah, and we got Pooh left, and then Tigger and Eeyore showed up, and then Eeyore tried to refuse to let me go, and the handler was like, "Come on, really?" Anyways, so on Saturday, we were outside of Pooh's Corner, which is the little shop over by where you meet like Winnie the Pooh and all of his friends. Mm-hmm. And I step outside, and I'm like, "Oh, Mom's gonna kill me if I don't get her." I'm like, Mom, and she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Pooh's outside." And she's like, "Where?" I'm like, "Where you meet him." And she like beeline over to him. And I was like,
You know,
She just took
I
off.
need to hug my Winnie the Pooh.
She's gone.
Jillian, I am such a smart aleck that if you would have said Pooh's outside, I would have said something like, "Where? I don't want to step in it."
Probably would have been his comment too had he been there. But
To me, I was like, "Where? I want to hug it."
I'm like, he's outside. Like, where you normally meet him. And she like
Yes.
took
I
off.
got to hug Pooh. I was so happy.
And I was like, how did she move that fast? And like, I lost sight of her in like 2 seconds.
Mobility scooter.
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys know about the Easter eggs over in the Pooh ride, right?
I know there's a few things because of it being where the Country Bear Jamboree was.
Yeah, the
my brain
heads
just
are on the
asked
wall.
which one.
Well, the first Easter egg that you run into in the Heffalumps and Woozles room, you'll notice that Winnie the Pooh is in a balloon. That's a leftover. Because that balloon was built around Teddy Barra's swing.
Oh yeah.
So that's why that balloon was like able to go up and down. It's basically it's Teddy Barra's swing. And the other Easter egg you come upon just after that, but you got to kind of turn around and look up as you exit the Heffalumps and Woozles room. You can spot Max Buff and Melvin above the door. And that was kind of a little nod to the Country Bears over there.
So when you get to Walt Disney World, as soon as you get it's as soon as you get on and go in the first
Yeah, as soon as you make that first turn,
you got to turn
and look on
turn around and look to the left. There's
and you see Toad and Owl.
Yes, Toad handing over the deed
Of the ride building to Owl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's super cool.
Yeah, and I know Jennifer's going to want to ride that one 50 million times. So I'll definitely see it.
It's so cool how they do stuff like that. I appreciate how Disney.
And that's one thing that Disney's really good at is making those like little nods to other rides, like the Eeyore sign for the parking lot in Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
In the queue.
The Eeyore sign.
Yep.
The little man of Disneyland being in the sign for Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
The sails above the Pirates of the Caribbean building.
The ears on the skeleton in Indiana Jones.
Yep.
And I really like how they carried so in the regular Haunted Mansion, one of the cast members made a hidden Mickey out of the plates with the plates and the two saucers.
Yeah.
So when they switched it over and they put the new plates on for this year there is I don't always see it. Like I don't remember seeing it last year. Or wait, we didn't go last year. The year before, or not the year before. The year before.
2019.
They did a hidden Mickey with the plate and the saucer again this year on Haunted Mansion on the table.
For Haunted Mansion
And
Holiday.
Julian loves that.
In this,
Yeah,
I love Haunted Mansion, the regular Haunted Mansion, but my favorite version is Haunted Mansion Holiday because it's Nightmare Before Christmas.
And she loves Jack.
I love Nightmare Before Christmas. I love Oogie.
And Oogie.
I love Jack. I love Sally. I love Oogie's Boys.
Lock and Barrel.
They're called Oogie's Boys when the oldest one is the girl and she's the one in charge of the three of them.
How many times have you watched Nightmare Before Christmas?
This year?
More than me.
I don't have a number, but it's a lot.
Yeah, she does. She watches it a lot.
Okay, now I'm going to make you jealous, Gillian. I'm going to make you jealous.
Oh.
When I was working at Disneyland back in 2001, I got to go on Haunted Mansion Holiday before they opened it to guests. The first year. That was back in the day when they had scarols being played in the line. If you ever want a dose of nostalgia, look up on YouTube Haunted Mansion Holiday Scarols. Because they put out an album of them because they thought it was going to be a huge hit, but apparently it wasn't as big a hit to the general public as they thought it was going to be. Now, granted, Disney fans, they're going to love that stuff, but the general public, not so much. So they scrapped it, but you can still find it on YouTube.
You can find everything on YouTube. David's been watching all these old Disneyland shows from like the celebrations that somebody posted on YouTube that was on TV like years ago.
Yeah, like the anniversary stuff. Like one of them was from 1959 when they opened the submarines, the Matterhorn, and the monorail all the same day.
Uh-huh. Oh, I heard a story from Bob Gurr that when they opened the monorail, he accidentally kidnapped the president.
Yeah,
Vice president, yes.
President
He was vice president at that point in time.
Yeah, oh yeah, he kidnapped the Nixon.
Monorail and
Oh my gosh! So Nixon does have some history with Disney. In addition to having been kidnapped on the monorail at Disneyland, he gave his famous "I am not a crook" speech over the Contemporary.
Yeah, at Walt Disney World. Yeah.
Although, if you watch that video from 1959, with the number of people that got into the front of the monorail, which is where Vice President at the time Nixon was, there was no room for any Secret Service agents to be in there with them. So, but the reporter who was naming off people who were getting into the monorail, he had a list of people who were there, and these were people who were getting in from the second car back. So they knew exactly who was on the platform. They knew who was up there. So it was by invitation only, and everybody I had to have been pre-screened to be up there that close to the vice president. And since there was no other stop at that point in time, you just went around Tomorrowland a little bit and then came back.
Yeah.
I don't think the Secret Service was that worried about him being on the monorail without them.
Yeah. Now,
Walt would have been like.
I think with Walt's history of cooperating with Congress on other things, I don't think it would have been that difficult, especially with some of the other people that he had already associated with, all the different diplomats and world leaders that he had shown around Disneyland. I don't think they were that worried about it. Like one of the watching the.
Oh my gosh! Hold on, Cargo. I love you, Cargo. You're awesome.
So I heard there was this cool guy named Brian that I should watch on YouTube, so I came to see for myself. Hi, friends.
Okay.
But I was watching the opening day stuff. And the person who actually was introducing Walt Disney for the opening speech that he gave was an actor and TV personality by the name of Ronald Reagan.
Oh, yes.
So I was like, oh, wait. Yeah, that's Ronald Reagan. So, I mean, over the years, there was a lot of there's been a lot of very famous people in.
At least two presidents.
Yeah.
Oh, there's been more than that. There's been a lot more than that.
I said at least two. Didn't Kennedy?
Yeah, come on.
Yes.
I know
Both
for a
China
fact,
and Ted.
well, I know for a fact that while I was working at Disneyland, we had a presidential visit. So that was rather interesting. But we used to have, back when he was alive, a certain celebrity that a friend of mine here absolutely loves used to rent out the park. Michael Jackson.
Yeah, he used to do that a lot.
Yeah, but the sad thing about Michael Jackson renting out the park is the cast members, they hated him, and it wasn't because of it wasn't because he was buying out the park. It was because the entertainment cast members, the parade cast members, when he was there, his orders were they would have to do the parade up and down Main Street all night.
Ew,
Like 5 hours.
that's
That gets
hard.
tired. Yeah,
That's
I mean
tough.
they would have to march from Small World to Main Street, turn around backstage, and march back
That's
all
tough.
night. It is.
Especially like that, like as a performer himself, like he should understand that's hard to do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But that makes some of the other celebrities that come to Disneyland, that don't do that kind of shenanigans, a joy to work with.
Performance is even harder than stage show performance.
Mm-hmm.
Like something like
Yep.
that, where the parade route is even more difficult than.
Oh yeah. But I recall my best friend. She used to work in attractions, and one of her attractions that she worked was Indiana Jones. Fun fact: the truck outside of Indiana Jones, it's kind of you walk past in the exit. That was a prop from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
And still belongs to Steven Spielberg.
Uh-huh. It's on loan. It's kind of permanently on loan to Disneyland.
Yep, and that's why that ball that's on that bar that comes up off the front bumper, the stunt driver could not actually see where he needed to be, so they put that on there so that way he could spot his mark using that ball. That's why
awesome.
it's there. So it was actually there during filming.
Mm-hmm. Well, a fun fact about a certain celebrity. I don't know if you guys follow wrestling, like WWE. You ever heard of a guy by the name of Mick Foley?
No.
He used to go by Cactus Jack, Mankind, Dude Love.
Oh, yeah.
He would go to Disneyland anytime the WWE or WCW was in Southern California. He would take his kids to Disneyland. Now, this is what he would do that the cast members loved. I don't know if you guys are aware, but there are entrances in all the attractions that are like VIP entrances.
Yes.
So that celebrities can go in there and not be molested by the crowd outside. Seriously, because they would get hounded and, oh, can I have your autograph? I want a hug. Well, but Mick Foley, he and his family, they would go through the line. And when my friend, when she was working load, and he went through it, the person at Unload heard his kids say, "Oh, that was so much fun. Let's go on it again." And they told him, "Hey, if you guys will want to stay on it, we'll let you go on it again. We don't mind." And Mick said, "Thank you for the offer, but if we want to go on it again, we're going to wait in the line just like everybody else."
Aww.
And I mean, he just earned a lot of respect from a lot of cast members because he doesn't think he's entitled to use the backdoor entrances or be allowed to stay on a ride if he wants, just because he's who he is. And another celebrity the same way, Johnny Depp.
I actually, if I'm using the wave vehicles, unless like if they're not super busy, like they've asked me if I wanted to go to sometimes 3 or 4 times around, I normally take them up on the offer, but
especially that one time that we got you onto the People Mover in Florida.
yeah. That
Now,
was hard.
the big difference between the two, other than the fact that the one in Florida is open, the People Mover in California had an elevator. The one in Florida does not.
Yeah.
It's
the
not
reason
accessible.
I think the elevator was kind of a leftover from the Rockets to the Moon. It just would stop off on the second deck on the first deck for the People Mover.
Right. But you could still be disabled and get up there that way. But you
Florida's does not have an elevator at all.
Yeah, there's no way to get up there.
Nope.
And yet, in order to go on Astro Orbiter, you get on an elevator and go above the People Mover. That part does not make sense to me.
Seems
they can
like
figure out how to get to Astro Orbiter with an elevator, but they can't get up to the People Mover. That's stupid.
Oh yeah, it is. I totally agree. Now, you did the Oogie Boogie. How much candy did you guys get?
tons.
A lot.
How much made it home?
All of it. We didn't eat any of it really
Yeah,
before we came home.
Yeah, it's
I've been sitting at my desk today
Eating candy.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it all made it home.
I mean, we saw some people, like eating it as soon as it went into their bag, but
I was too busy trying to film, have my bag of candy, and control my mobility scooter. I didn't have 3 hands, so.
Well, Melissa, you need to grow a third hand. Maybe if you grew one out of your head, you can use that.
And I had my cane and my candy, so both of my hands were full too. So.
And so that left Gillian to hold the extra candy. So that left Gillian to hold the extra candy bag, right?
No.
That was hung on Melissa's scooter.
Yep.
Okay.
Holding it.
And basically, when the bags they give us, which
They're tiny.
they're not very big. I got one right here.
Here's one of them.
They're only they're only about this big. So, I mean,
Really?
This is what they give you.
That's what they give you for treat bags?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And after about I would say 3 treat trails, that thing would be completely full.
So we dump it in my bigger bag that I brought.
Then that tears it. I'm packing a pillowcase.
There you go. Yeah. And you can go through
as many times as you want.
And they don't care if you can keep going through the same treat trail all
Going
night long
around,
if you want
around.
They don't care.
So if I want to go hog the M&Ms, I can go through the M&M line 1,500 times.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they don't have just like
it's each treat
the
trail has.
It's just an assortment. And they just grab like a handful and dump it in there.
Lots of stuff.
Although toward the end of the night, we were getting like 2 handfuls dumped in.
Cargo has an even better idea. She makes her own bags for the parties. I do believe that Cargo sells these bags. Am I right, Cargo? But so you got through the good, you got through some of the bad. Did you guys drive or fly?
We drove.
Oh, you drove. Oh,
there's part of the ugly.
Yeah, that was majorly ugly coming home.
On the way home.
Oh my gosh.
We got run off the road by trucks. Not just once.
Really?
But twice.
Really? And who was driving? Jillian?
I was.
She has not license yet.
I was sitting in the passenger seat. Though.
One of them, the guy just started to come over into our lane, which he was in the third lane from the right in California.
Which
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but that's illegal for him to be there. Plus, he was passing us, and we were doing 65, which the maximum speed limit for trucks in California is 55. So he was speeding. He was in an illegal lane and was trying to make a lane change into us and force us out of his way.
Which he made a mistake because he picked the wrong car to do that with. Former truck driver.
So
oh my gosh. Okay. April has a question for you guys.
That's a loaded question because, so here's the thing. We went to Walt Disney World last year for theirs. But they didn't do Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. They changed it to Boo Bash. An after hours event, not a party. So, and now they're back to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. But personally, I like Oogie Boogie Bash better. I like it better than Mickey's Halloween Party at Disneyland was too.
In Cargo, I have not seen the bag that you made for Mike.
What do you think?
But for those who are interested in checking out some of Cargo's merchandise, she is on Instagram as So Cargo, and she sells her stuff on Instagram. So got to give her a little plug for Cargo because she is an amazing friend. And sometime probably by the end of the year, once I get up to 200 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a little giveaway. And Cargo has agreed to supply some goodies for a giveaway on my channel. So, having the details of how we're going to pick the winner, but as long as you're subscribed and you're in the stream that we do the giveaway and then leave a comment, then I think that's probably how I'll do it.
I just came back to you saying my name.
Oh, okay. Let's see. All right, Cargo. And oh my gosh. So, don't know how well you can see this picture of the bag that Cargo made for me.
So cute.
So I think, yeah. Well, I'm not sure about Mike Wheeler, but the bag's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, so I think that if you want some good ears, Cargo's your person, and she also makes bucket hats. So gotta love a good friend. Gotta help her out, you know. All right, so did you guys have any just absolutely over the top cast experiences?
I don't think so.
Other than the characters that we ran into at Storytellers.
Well, all the characters were good.
Yeah, they're always.
I mean, like you know, the characters that we ran into during Boo Bash were great too.
Oogie Boogie Bash.
Oh yeah, sorry, Oogie Boogie Bash. Wrong party.
Yeah, they were amazing. They were pretty amazing.
I will say this about Boo Bash. They did, because it was a shorter event, they were trying to make up for the cost of it. You got free of the sodas, popcorn, or ice cream.
At Walt Disney World, when they do the after hours events, they give you free popcorn, sodas, and ice cream.
Nice.
So as much as you want.
Technically not free.
You want, they hand it to you. And it's the bottled soda, bottled water. They just have the popcorn things made up, sitting out, ready to go. They have the ice cream. They'll just hand you either the fruit bars, the ice cream sandwiches, or the Mickey premium bars. You know those ones that cost like $6 in the park? You get. I think I ate 2 ice cream bars. I ate a bunch of popcorn. We all drank a bunch of soda and water.
I think I had
we had water for the next day too, based off of that.
Yeah, every time I'd go by one, I'd grab water and soda.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Jillian, what is your favorite Disney ice cream snack from the carts?
Tiger tails don't have ice cream in them.
Yeah, we don't normally do the ice creams. That's
her favorite sweet treat though is the Tiger
the
tails.
Tiger tails.
Yes.
The Tiger tail.
So
You mean over Pooh Corner?
Yes.
Don't they have those over at the Magic Kingdom at
No,
the Cheshire Cat?
those
Yeah,
are
they're the Cheshire tails, but they're not the same.
It's a different treat.
And we've tried the Cheshire tails, and whatever they use to flavor those, we don't like.
Really? You know, I think there's been kind of a consensus from people that have been going, that came out to Disneyland from Florida, that the food in California is like light years ahead of Disney World.
So it used to be, I'm going to say that this trip, the food was not so good. Like everything we had is not like it used to be. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they lost whoever they had.
They gained somebody from World
or something, but the food was not as good as it normally is.
Well, and I think part of that is Disneyland has more competition readily available because you can walk out the gate, walk across the street,
and there's McDonald's.
Yeah, there's McDonald's there, and like up the street a little bit, there's a Denny's, right?
There's an IHOP.
IHOP.
There's a Panera.
Yeah, so they have direct competition for food in close proximity.
Yeah.
Disney World, you got to completely leave the park, leave the property.
Yeah, you got to go 20 miles to get something not Disney.
Right.
Well,
So
that McDonald's that's on property.
Yeah, one McDonald's, it's still far away. Like, if you're not driving, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Or
the solar McDonald's.
Well, like what we normally do is, like I told you on the stream we're talking about food, is we order groceries, so we have food in our room. You can request a microwave if you don't have one. If they have extras, they will bring you one. We got one. And then we'd occasionally order a few things, like we'd order breakfast one day from like Bob Evans off of like DoorDash or something.
I have an update on that.
Or something.
I have an update on our dining reservations.
Ooh.
You heard the news that Crystal Palace is now open for breakfast.
I did.
So I contacted Amber the day we found out that they were opening it up for breakfast, and
did she get it for you?
On the 22nd, she booked us an 8:05 reservation for Crystal Palace for breakfast.
And that's Winnie the Pooh, right?
Yes. And Jennifer is going to the party as Piglet.
Oh, yeah. That's so cute. Because
are you going to eat a plate of bacon in front of her?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, when Piglet comes to our table, I will make sure that I have a nice big old pile of bacon there, so that I can do the whole. That was so much fun. But yeah, it's getting kind of late. I mean, oh my gosh, it's been 50 minutes. So thank you guys for sharing your experiences at Disneyland. Now, do y'all have any final thoughts?
We're going back in December.
You're going back in December to do the holiday party, right?
I don't know if we're
or
going
to see all the Christmas decorations.
Yes. We're going to be there for New Year's Eve. We're going with my brother and his family. For his kids' first trip.
Wait a minute. You're going for New Year's Eve? You're actually going on New Year's Eve?
Yes, I've never been on New Year's Eve, so
Okay.
It's her brother's idea.
I wanted to go for New Year's Eve.
We thought,
Okay,
hey, what could we do to ruin our trip even more and go on one of the busiest days of the year? You know,
With
make sure
3
capacity.
small children.
Oh my God. Wow. First of all, when you go on New Year's Eve, pick the park that you want to be in and stay there. Do not hop.
Yeah, no, we don't normally
Because
hop
if you're in Disneyland and if you hop over to DCA, you will not be able to get back into Disneyland.
That's not true with the reservations now. You're guaranteed to be able to get into the park you pick. You're not guaranteed to be able to get into the park you want to hop to, but you're guaranteed to be able to get into the park you pick with the reservations.
And when I was working at Disneyland,
Yeah.
New Year's Eve,
Yes, that's true.
New Year's Eve was the absolute worst day to work. I remember I was at New Year's Eve in 2002. Okay. Luckily, I had an 11 to 7:30 shift, which they extended out to 8:30. But when I was pushing my lemonade, they had these little support units and we put all our cups and everything. When I was pushing that back to the office, oh my God, it was so difficult getting through the crowds. And this was at about 7:00.
Christmas Eve was like that the year we went for Christmas. Oh my gosh, like you could not move. There were so many people there.
Mm-hmm. And I was just trying to get backstage so I can get away from the crowds, and I was having a hard time getting there.
Right.
Now that was my first trip to really any big theme park in 2010 when we went. And it was crowded as all get out.
Crazy.
And we had a dining reservation.
We're wrapping up.
Oh, okay.
But we have our videos about our trip getting ready to come out. Our Oogie Boogie Bash one is not this weekend, but next weekend. And then we'll have our trip videos coming out.
And are you doing a separate video for just the parade, or?
Yeah, I'll be posting that soon-ish.
Oh yeah. And if you haven't already subscribed to Disabled DISventures, they are an amazing channel. They're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers by Melissa's birthday.
In 2 weeks, we're not going to make it. But I have faith. We're going to make it.
We can always ask for miracles, right?
Hey, we only need 335.
Hey, you never know. I'm sure that if she hasn't already, Cargo's going to be subscribing pretty soon, right?
Yeah, we only need 335 last I checked. So.
All right. Well, it's getting pretty late for me because I've got to work tomorrow, and I'm sure you guys have to work tomorrow too.
We have 666 subscribers.
Okay, 334.
There we go. But you have 666 subscribers. You need another subscriber there.
We do.
Yes.
That's a very unlucky number.
Somebody please go subscribe so that we get off of that. I don't normally bag on that, but it's the number there. So we either gotta get somebody to subscribe, or we gotta kick somebody off.
I don't know when you can't kick anybody off for subscribers.
Oh my gosh!
Quick, one of you guys make a new Gmail and subscribe.
Yeah, really. Oh my god! All right, well, hey, it's always fun. You guys have a blessed night, and hopefully you guys will be up at 1,000 subscribers very soon. We'll see y'all later. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for coming.